and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
It's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is a very special live presentation here on the National Racing Network. The Spec Corvette Series live from Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California. Oh, we cannot wait. This one's going to be a ton of fun. My name is Chris Graham, joined in the booth tonight, as always, by Mr. James Watson. I'll tell you what here, James. This looks like fun, man. You got to drive one of these cars about a week or so ago. Tell us what we're going to expect to see out of the Spec Corvettes tonight.
Oh, man, we're going to see some awesome racing. These cars are not very easy to drive, and this track is not very easy to drive. So we're going to see a lot of great racing and a lot of great maneuvers, and yeah, just some great driving.
Yes, to say the least here. Tell you a little bit about this place. Auto Club Speedway, well, what the heck? We've got graphics here. Located in Fontana, California, 2.8 miles, 4 and change kilometers, if you speak in the metric system. 21 turns, originally opened in 1997. You can see the field working their way out on towards the front straightaway. Getting ready for a green flag. Kind of a unique perspective for us to be broadcasting from here. Let's pick up the 8 of Mark LaCourte. He is your pole sitter tonight. Field making their way down the front straightaway. They are going to go through turns 1 and 2. Green flags in the air. We're underway here at Fontana. Good Lord, man. These guys are absolutely flying. LaCourte dipping just a little bit below the white line there at the entrance to turn 1. Big hard braking zone here for turn 3, James.
Oh yeah, it's so easy to get this corner wrong, and you really need to get it down to hit the apex. Otherwise, you're just going to ruin your run on the exit and down this long straightaway.
Craig Dale able to get to the inside of Evan Gold as they work their way through the corner there. Pretty neat to have the onboard audio with these guys as well.
Yeah, it's cool to be able to hear all their inputs, their throttle inputs and everything.
Yeah. The car control required around this place is really pretty insane. The more that we've talked and listened to these drivers, the more it seems like there's so many places to make a mistake. It's almost mind-boggling because you go from a tight, twisty infield section to running turns 1 and 2 of the oval, absolutely full throttle, and who's got the biggest cojones in the group?
Yeah, and you have a lot of long straightaways. So if you make one mistake, you're going to completely tank your lap.
Picking up here with Ole Thorderson. Man,
it's just incredible watching them go full throttle through here.
And it looks so smooth from Ollie's camera view. How about the one from Evan Gold? Missing teeth? How about we check out goldoralsurgery.com? Good Lord.
Yeah, you're going to need it. That's fun about Fontana is that it's so bumpy. I mean, all you need to do is just look at a NASCAR race here and see how bad the cars are bumping up and down. Like, this is a full accurate view on what you're dealing with at this track. It's just not kind to suspension or teeth. So, yeah, it's a nice little shameless plug right there. It works.
We'll take it. Going to get the timing and scoring up here as soon as we see the updates. Ten cars making it out onto the starting grid.
I tell you, you're used to turns 1 and 2 on the oval being the gut check moment, but there's a lot of them when you get into the infield. There's a lot of fast little chicanes that you can kind of maybe take full throttle. It's just how big are your you-know-whats and how much trust do you have in your car?
Yeah, actually, we just lost Evan Gold's camera. I think it may have grenaded itself. On board here with Ole Thordarson. He's only 1.16 seconds behind Mark LaCourte at the line. But again, you'll see the name go purple. Mark LaCourte sets another fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 47.449. Man, it really is interesting here as we follow along on the onboards here. How deep they're getting. They're very low in the rev range, especially through that 5-6 complex as they start heading their way down, basically opposite way, down the backstretch. Towards this 7-8 complex, little bit of a lift there out of Thordarson, but this hairpin up here is really, really tough. Very easy to get the car off in a place that you really don't want it to be.
Yeah, that corner is really difficult because it's got a little bit of a curve as you're kind of tracking out to hit the apex. So you can't really take a normal like wide line and cut down. You kind of have to wait and then cut down because it's a little gradual curve and then you cut down. It's a lot like some of the corners at like Malaysia, for example. Well, it's just really difficult to get right and nail your timing because it's so easy to just turn too late or too early.
Going on board here with Patrick Howe, making his way out onto the banking. This is the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th place. Greg Nestor, Darren Griffith, and Patrick Howe. Thus far, Greg Nestor, the only car that's moved in relation to their starting position. Nestor currently in the 6th position after starting 8th. Greg Nestor coming around Patrick Howe there as well, so he's going to be up 1. Take a look here. We're going to go on board with Kevin Michaels. Oh, unfortunately, we don't have the audio from Kevin's car here, but nice battle going on ahead of him. That's how Nestor, Griffith, and Carroll all lined up together. Big dive up the inside. The 44, Patrick Howe going to lose a spot. That was impressive.
That was.
Man, I'll tell you what, that 44 machine makes up a ton of ground on corner entry. It's just a matter of getting everything squared up on the way out of the corner.
I tell you, that was a big save by the 98. He had a little bit of a moment in coming out of the corner.
Going to pick up Josh Carroll here now. Carroll currently running in the 5th position.
Oh, the 98 wasn't able to save at that time.
Yeah, Kevin Michaels having a a big moment there going around. He's going to get back out onto the racetrack. Final lap, 1 to go. Let's go on board here with Ole Thordarson, currently running in the second position, and you can hear him off the throttle. Checkered flag is out. Mark LaCourte going to get the win in the first segment here. Tell you a little bit
Nice drive.
here about what you're going to see here for the rest of it. This is round number 5 of the Spec Corvette Championship. This is a super sprint format, so they're going to run a 15-minute race. No invert tonight, which is typically customary, is they'll invert at least a chunk of the field, but no invert tonight because the regroup's going to happen on the racetrack. Then another 15-minute race here for race number 2. So things getting cooled down a little bit. Everybody's settling themselves, and we'll tell Josh Wynn, our head honcho CEO, one of the founders of Spec Corvette. He is manning the camera for us here up on the front straightaway, that your camera is live at the moment. Yes, getting the big thumbs up. Hopefully the show sounds pretty good here. You guys are enjoying it. I'll tell you what, we are having a blast over here. Have to thank all of the sponsors that help make these broadcasts possible. And quite frankly, there's a bunch of them, as you would expect for a series of this quality. Title sponsor of the Spec Corvette series, Nankang Motorsport Tires. These guys are running the NS2R 200 treadwear tire out there on the racetrack. Talking to some of our guys offline before here, what we're really looking at is almost a DOT cheater tire, is how one driver described it to me. It is fast, it is sticky, it is not your typical road tire, street tire. A little bit more geared to the racetrack, but man o' Lord. Nankang Motorsport putting out a spectacular tire for these guys to run on. Also have to thank Penske Racing Coilovers, Willwood Aero 6 brakes. Those things are huge, by the way. Taking a look at the pictures on those Willwood brakes are absolutely massive. TrackSpec Motorsports providing hood vents, sway bars, wheels, roll cage kits, all sorts of stuff for these drivers. Improved Racing, taking care of the oil coiling for these cars. Turn 1, providing power steering components. Safety Gear by Sparco. G-Stream, doing the rear spoilers, and those things, they do look good, man. And TPS Motorsports, providing Corvette parts of all sorts and sizes. Pretty tightly controlled rules here, James, in terms of what they are and are not allowed to do.
Yeah, you really can't find a whole lot of advantages. I mean, it definitely lives up to its name as being Spec Corvette series, so it puts a lot of emphasis on just driver skill, which honestly is what racing really should be for the most part.
Let's go up here. John, we got you. We can see you, bud. What are you seeing out there at the racetrack?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
All right, so that was an exciting first race for Spec Corvette Racing at Auto Club Speedway, presented by Nankang Tire. So we did a 15-minute, 5-lap race. We're going to turn it around and do another 15 minutes. So super excited. Mark LaCourte took P1 position, had a great weekend, set the fastest lap of the day in qualifying, followed by Ole Thordarson holding on to that second position with our 2021 champion, Craig Dale, just behind him, could not make the passes. So they were able to hold those positions for the top 3 podium. So right now, these guys are setting up, getting regrouped, waiting for the yellow flag to come around. They're going to come around again and do it for another 15 minutes. We generally invert, but at this specific racetrack, doing it in inversion is fairly dangerous because of the passing zones and the availability of passing zones here. So we decided not to do any type of inverted grid. So right now, they're just waiting for things to cool down, waiting for all the other drivers to come back around, because we also are racing with Super Miata, which has 20 cars out here, so we're waiting for them to group up. They're going to come around. I don't know if you can pan around and see some of these cars waiting out in the back area there on the back straightaway. So these guys are just hanging on, waiting for that yellow flag, and they're going to come around again. So thanks to our sponsors, and having a great show so far. So far, no carnage, no contact, and we have nobody lost an engine or anything like that. So we're looking good. So back to you guys. I appreciate the work you guys are doing. It's looking good so far.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in and hanging out with us here. I have to say, James, this is the first time we've called a race together that we have not been able to see what the heck is going on from multiple views. We only have the onboards to work with. But that sort of makes this fun in a really kind of wild, crazy way, because there's so much to talk about. I mean, let's see if I can hit the right button here. These Spec Corvette cars are really, really neat cars. They're based off the C5, C6 platform. It's a factory LS6 engine. They're power limited to 380 horsepower. So don't try putting on a ton of bolt-on add-ons, power makers, whatever you want to call them. They may take your car and dyno it after the race if they think you're making too much power. The weight's 3,200 pounds. These are full-on stock cars, basically. The closest you're going to find to a stock car. And as we mentioned, Penske front suspension, track spec sway bars in the rear, the Willwood Aero 6 brakes, you're going to use a ton of them. And then the track spec hood louvers and all that kind of stuff, the G-Stream Aero, the rear wings that you can see right there on the back of the 08. These cars, they're almost like a hybrid. They're not exactly purebred race cars by any stretch, but there's no way these things are something you want to pal around on the street with either.
No, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see them do everything like this and have the cars. It's kind of cost effective. You know, you're not really dumping super gobs of money in. It's something that regular people can go out and drive. And, you know, there's not too many series like this out there.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it when you got to drive these things out at Willow Springs a few weeks ago. They're a lot of fun, though, man. Fields grouped up off of turn 21, I guess it is. They call this a 21-turn road course. The reality is, maybe not so much. They make about 4 or 5 corners out of the very end here, but getting to the start-finish line, green flags in the air. We're back underway here for race number 2. 3 wide, big dive up the middle. I think that's Craig Dale going for it. Oh my goodness. Only going to head back to the 3rd position at least. Big time cover off there by Mark LaCourte trying to cover the inside lane into turn 3. Oh, and there's the off track. Thorderson going to be back up to P2 out of turn 4.
Man, Ollie just nailed that corner. Look at the run he got. I told you, if you mess up that corner, your lap is sunk for at least the next few corners. Honestly, it would not surprise me if we see Ollie going for the lead here next time we're in 1 and 2.
Oh, man, big dive there. Out of turn 9.
He might not even wait till then.
I was going to say, but this is a very, very tight left-right complex here. They're heading up into turns 12 and 13. This area described a little bit, we were talking earlier. This is almost like going around the fountain at Long Beach. Really impressive pass there by Olar Thorderson into that corner.
Yeah, I cannot believe he was able to pull it off there. That was some amazing driving to stick on the outside. It's a lot harder than it looks, folks.
That's putting it mildly there, James. So Thorderson will be your race leader. Craig Dale getting around Mark LaCourte as well. Josh Carroll, Evan Gold, your top 5.
Got a nice little train of cars mid-pack. Might see a couple more moves here.
I was going to say, let's pick up. Well, we've lost some of. Actually, we've lost almost all of our cameras.
We have approximately 3 that are still working.
Yes. We have 3 that are still running here.
We are testing the limits of man and machine here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man,
Not
what a
just the cars,
big
but the
moment.
cameras as well.
Wow. That was Greg Nestor and Darren Griffith, both of them letting the rear ends hang out in a big way. Ole Thordarson just setting a new fastest lap of the race.
Patrick Howe has a run. Maybe see him move into 3.
I'll going after
Bit
Greg
of a
Nestor.
bizzle there.
Yeah, covering the
he's
inside
going for it.
lane. Such an interesting spot of the racetrack there, James. You really can push both directions. You can try to push the inside lane and use that to cover off the run, but the outside lane lets you carry so much more momentum, and because it's the switchback, you really have to commit to the line early and know how you want to exit the corner.
Yeah, I feel like if you can get to the outside and stick your car in there, you're going to have a high chance of pulling off the move because you're going to have the inside line to switch back. But it's hard to get your car actually right there, and that's the advantage the inside line has to it. Plus, you're sacrificing your entry into the left-hander, but the right-hander, you're not as bad, and that's key because that's a nice little straightaway. And if you don't maximize your speed, you're going to lose a lot of momentum and be sitting duck for the car behind going into the double apex left-hander.
Take a look. We'll go on board here with Ole Thordarson, your race leader. New fastest lap of the race last time by for Mark LaCourte. He's up past Craig Dale for second, 1 minute 48.032. He's 0.6 of a second back, and looks like it might even be more than that at this point. No real chance here, though, for Thordarson. He really needs to not have a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak on it since we all know my history on jinxing people whenever I mention them. So, yeah, I'm just going to say that he's doing a good job just existing on the track. I shouldn't jinx that, in theory. Got Patrick Howe making another run, trying to pick up another position.
Three laps down, 3 laps to go here. Or at least it should be 3 to go.
Would it appear that 73 and took over a new fastest lap with a 38 flat?
Yeah, they're moving. That's for sure. In fact, that's Mark LaCourte coming around Ole Thorderson out of turn 2 into 3 and 4. But now they've got traffic up ahead of them. This is going to get spicy.
Oh, boy. Oh, he's trying to... he come pull the outside. Ooh, he got the crossover.
Side by side. Down into turn 7. Oh, this is so gut check moment.
Oh.
Already working their way through the Spec Miatas, one of them getting off course a little bit. I couldn't imagine trying to manage traffic that is pretty significantly slower down the straightaway like they're having to.
Oh, this is a nightmare. And trying to go for the dub. Oh, man.
Oh, big moment for LaCourte. LaCourte missed the corner. Borders come through. Back up on the banking. This will be 5 laps complete.
Man, he's completely out of the... he's down third. Almost 3 seconds back. But Craig Dale, he's still there.
Yeah, Dale was only 0.8 of a second back at the line. And their leader is catching lap traffic.
Man,
Miatas side by side. There's nowhere for him to go.
Is he gonna go?
Thorderson splits the gap. Oh, that was awesome.
Oh my. It's just agonizing for Ollie. Also, not very nice if you're the Miatas either.
Well, it's kind of a tough spot that they're in because these guys are not using spotters. The drivers don't have spotters or anything. You have a mirror, but it's not like you're dealing with knowing where the faster class is coming from. This is truly real-world multi-class racing, kind of at its best.
Yeah, this is like real-life production car challenge right here. Thankfully, this Corvette is a lot more safer than the Mustangs are.
Six laps are in the books. The gap is 1.5 seconds from Ollie Thorderson back to Craig Dale. Another 0.8 of a second back to Mark LaCourte in the 3rd position. Josh Carroll, Steve, Evan Gold, your top 5.
Yeah, Ollie just seems to be getting by the traffic a lot better. Reminds me of an old saying, you can't gain time in traffic, but you can definitely learn how to lose time better in traffic. It seems like Ollie can pull that off better than Craig.
Let's switch the look up here and go on board with Patrick Howe. He is working hard to get caught up to Darren Griffith in the 7th, just up ahead.
Oh, there's the Miata that spun.
No Spec Miata carnage as of yet.
Emphasis on the yet.
Once again, 6 left in the books. Here for Spec Corvette at Auto Club Speedway. Kevin Michaels also having to fight his way through some of the Miata traffic as well. Seven laps now in the books. LaCourte has gotten back around Craig Dale. Oh, man, we've got one of the Miatas absolutely lighting the tires up here in front of Ollie Thorderson.
He's absolutely burning it down.
And it looks like that is a checkered flag. Although, timing and scoring haven't updated for me yet. Show us that. But let's see here.
Yeah,
Josh Wynn, are you? Can you hear us? And are you ready to talk to us here, bud? There we go. Josh, are you able to hear us? All right, bud.
Yep.
Yes, now we have you. Good Lord,
Excellent.
man.
All
On board
guys.
with Ollie here still. Absolutely fantastic racing we saw there.
Yeah, that was unbelievable racing. That second was just unreal. The side-by-side racing, the head, the fly going into the turns. Absolutely beautiful racing job. Ole Thorderson takes the win with Mark LaCourte switching places back and forth on the high bank oval. We're going over to the scales right now. As these cars come off the track, the top three guys will be scaling their cars so to make sure they're in at least 3,200 pounds after the race. So absolutely fantastic driving by Ole Thorderson and Mark LaCourte, Craig Dale today, switching places back and forth. So really excited to see. Looks like there was no incidents, no carnage, and engines are looking. We're going to set up over here and get the car looking like a race, guys. That was an absolutely exciting race.
Yeah, that one was a blast, man. We had a ton of fun calling it here.
Come in and they'll scale here, but it'll probably take a minute because they're actually going wire drill right now down coming off the track. It's pretty much all we go to. You guys are fantastic race, no incidents, no issues there. So thanks to our sponsors and Spec Corvette Racing, the fastest racing series in America. We've got over 100 cars built across the United States and growing quickly. So my name's John Wynn. I'm series director. If you have any questions, you can email us at .com.
We lost the second part of your email address there, first part, whatever it was there, John. Give us the email address again for how everybody can get in touch with you. And, man, that was fun.
Right. So you could go to the speccorvette.com website, and you can go through the Contact Us page. You can see all the regional directors. So depending on your location across the United States, you would contact your regional director and ask them about getting a car built and getting your license for Spec Racing.
Man, alive. This thing was fun. Let's see.
Now it's time for some beers.
Yes, yes, it is. And let's see here. We'll turn off the hot mic there that that John has, but let's see. Checking some of the comments that we had here throughout the race. I couldn't take my eyes off the broadcast, quite frankly. But man alive, this was fun. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the show here. This is our first broadcast that we're doing with the Spec Corvette series. A little bit different look and feel than what they've done in the past. But hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the show as much as we're enjoying bringing it to everybody. Seeing Mike McCullen checking in the comments saying these things sound good. They really do. That was one of my favorite parts about when we, figured out we were going to try to do this with 7 in-car cameras. Just the sounds that these all-American V8 iron Corvettes make. Oh, it is absolutely beautiful. And I'll tell you what here, James, one of the neat things to me about this is how cost contained everything really is. Racing's expensive. Whether you're going to run go-karts, micro sprints, 410 sprint cars, NASCAR, IndyCar, or Spec Corvette, it's expensive. But this is one of those ways that they can try to make this as cost-effective as possible.
Yeah, it gives everyone an opportunity to get behind the wheel and race. And that's what a lot of us want. That's all we're asking for is an opportunity to just get out there and have some fun driving the wheels off of whatever.
And today's broadcast of the Spec Corvette series is presented by a whole host of sponsors here, including G-Stream, providing all of the rear wing aero bits for these cars, as well as Improved Racing, taking care of the oil cooling work. Also have to thank Sparco, the official provider of safety equipment for the Spec Corvette series, as well as TPS Motorsports. These guys do a fantastic job keeping everybody all equipped up, as do Track Spec Motorsports. Turn 1, Willwood Disc Brakes, and the title presenting partner of the Spec Corvette series, Nankang Motorsport Tires. These guys take competition tires to a whole new level with the NS2R Sport Next. Speed enthusiasts are confident on and off the track due to proven race-inspired compounds and constructions. Tread design enhances lateral stability under extreme cornering, while the optimized footprint maximizes the contact patch for outstanding grip. These street-legal tires are very soft and will provide outstanding performance for these Spec Corvette race cars. So thank you very much to Nankang Motorsport Tires for their support of the Spec Corvette series. But with that, it is almost time for us to get the heck on out of here, I think, James. Absolute blast calling this one here. Let's see. John, are you able to hear us still? There we go. John, are you able to hear us? Okay. I think I'm hearing you out of your earpods, not necessarily out of the mic there. But is there any chance we can go talk to Oli and some of our top finishers here? It looks like almost everybody is out of their race cars, based on what we're seeing out of Kevin Howe's camera. And I'll tell you what, James, something else that immediately comes to mind here is how cool is it to get to run as basically a gentleman driver, to get to run places like Auto Club Speedway, Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca, Willow Springs, some of these places a little bit more known as track days. But we also have some places where, literally the best in the world have run these racetracks.
It's surreal. Like, so much talent and so much history has happened at a lot of these tracks that it's incredible to think that you're sharing the track and you're sharing the track with some of the best that's ever been around. It's like you're almost like, I don't know if I belong here.
Seeing a question in the comments from Jim. Let's run down the results here from, well, both of our races. Race number 2 for the Spec Corvette series. Ollie Thorderson picking up the win by 3.2 seconds over Mark LaCourte. Craig Dale coming home third, Josh Carroll fourth, and Evan Gold completing the top 5. 6 through 10, Darren Griffith, Patrick Howe, Greg Nestor, Kevin Michaels, and Kevin Jones. And in race number 1, it was Mark LaCourte picking up the win. Did it from the pole and set the fastest lap of the race. He gets the Speedy Rabbit if you're following timing and scoring over on Race Hero. Ole Thorderson second, Craig Dale third, fourth to Evan Gold, fifth Josh Carroll, sixth Darren Griffith, seventh Greg Nestor, eighth to Patrick Howe, ninth Kevin Jones, and in 10th Kevin Michaels, rounding out the 10-car field there for race number 1. So it looks like Ollie Thorderson is back in his car. We'll pick up his feed here. His connection seems to be a little bit more stable than some of the others. Take a look here at the technical inspection area as well. There we see the 79 going across the scales. That car belonging to third place finisher Craig Dale. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to some of these drivers as they finish up their tech inspection post-race. Have to say a big thank you to Bruce Griffin checking in as a new Hot Lap hero on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Definitely saw some bugs to work out here from our side from a technical perspective, but nothing completely crazy here. Saw a comment earlier about need to get the in-car video streams figured out. That one's kind of interesting because you're talking about connections and an entirely remote production. There's actually more going into this than, quite frankly, anybody could have imagined. Production taking place right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, from a series of race cars that are running at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. It has been an undertaking, but man alive, a fun one. And commentary happening from the production studios and Ohio. So we have remote people in all over the place.
Yeah, we're worldwide here.
Yes. So looking forward to it here. Looks like Craig Dale, they're getting him moved out of the way. Then they're going to bring the scales back in here, and it will be the 22 going across the scales, belonging to your race winner, Ole Thorderson. Absolutely fantastic paint job on that one as well. And let's see, let's bring John Wynn here. John, we've got you up on the broadcast with us now. I'll tell you what, not only does the car look good, but man, was it fast out here today. All right, we'll keep you posted. Interesting. Mike McCullen, our sports car reporter for the National Racing Network, tuned in here from Belle Isle in Detroit, covering the IndyCar Series race and the IMSA race that was going on here at right about the same time we were on the air here. But he checks in saying, God, these things sound good. I do love that the exhaust note of these cars is we're going to have John over here talking to Ole Thorderson. Barely. Take one of the earpods out. Just give him one of your earpods. No. No. Not barely. Not much there, so. All right, we'll pick up let's see. We've got the hood up on Patrick Howe's machine here. They're still turning around, so we'll get him squared away. So there we go. While we wait for John Wynn and everybody down here at the racetrack to come back on once again, got to say a huge thank you to everybody who's tuned in with us here. We appreciate you hanging out with us. This has been an endeavor to get on the air for sure, but love the racing and yes, now we got a beautiful copy here.
All right, so we're gonna head over to see Ole Thorderson's vehicle right now. I hope you can hear us okay, because our speaker microphone system's not quite working. Didn't connect as we expected, but we'll make it work. So here is our race 2 winner, the Alvaca Networks Rescueware ransomware vehicle. Ransomware Rescue. All right. So we good on the camera?
We're good, buddy.
So Ole, we got to speak a little close to the camera, but Ole, that was a fantastic race. I got to tell you, I was going nuts watching that start. That was an unbelievable start. What was going through your head when you first started?
I knew Craig Dale was there. I knew I had to guard the inside. Sure enough, he was over there. And then Mark LaCourte just gets great starts. And anyway, I don't know. I ended up second, and then somehow I ended up first briefly. Then I ended up back in third, and then somehow I ended up back in second and back in first, all in like 6 or 7 laps. It was pretty bitchin'. And then I got a couple really clean breaks at the end where I got around some of the lap traffic, and I got like 2 or 3 cars at a time, and I just timed it perfectly. So I put this gap on them, but it was a bitchin' race. It was just close racing, just little minor bobbles that I was able to capitalize on. I made a couple bobbles, but they weren't really very significant. So, but all in all, it was just the second race especially was bitchin'. The first one was good, but we kind of sorted out early on, and then it was kind of a chase. The second one, though, with all those, and then Josh was in second for a brief moment. He was in second place. And then we hit traffic, and he braked a little bit late for turn 3, and I was able to come inside. Yeah, it was just, I got to go back and watch the video. So much happened, I can't even remember.
Can we ask Ole about going 3 wide with the Miatas?
What was that?
Say that again?
Can we, Ole, talk us through going 3 wide with the Miatas out of turn 4? That was abject insanity from our point of view.
Yeah, it's crazy with racing. sometimes I have to watch video to actually remember what happened. But I do remember that was, I think, one of the spots where I was able to capitalize on traffic and jump ahead. But yeah, I saw a gap and I just stuck my nose in. I hoped it would stay that way. And then I was in second gear and I powered through. And but yeah, I got lucky on traffic twice. I think a little bit of, sometimes they say it's better to be lucky than good, and I think I was kind of probably more lucky than good on those.
That was a fantastic race, Oli. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I was really rooting for you out there. Thank you very much. Race 2 winner, Ole Thordarson. Let's see if we can't come over here and catch our race 1 winner, Mark LaCourt. He might have started heading back to his paddock area already because he just got scaled and complete. But let's just run over there quickly and see if we can't catch him. Fantastic race. So Ole Thordarson, veteran racer with Spec Corvette. He actually started Spec Corvette racing with me. So when we were driving home from a GT2 race one day, I wanted to get into wheel-to-wheel racing, and I just couldn't afford to do it at the time. So we got to talking and thinking, why can't we do a spec series with Corvettes, with bitchin' parts, everybody having the same horsepower, keep limiting the actual modifications that we could do to keep the cost down, because racing is just so expensive. One of the most important things that we came up with is we needed to run a street tire. So that's why we chose the Nankang NS2R 200 treadwear tire, which gives incredibly good lap times and consistency. So they're fast on their first lap, they're fast on their fifth weekend. So tires, as you know, wins races. So Nankang NS2R is doing a fabulous job for us, Penske Racing Shocks. So we developed this list of parts that would be cost effective, bare minimum, to get the cars fast, reliable, and safe. So, and I think we've done that today with the cars dropping in at Auto Club at a minute 47, which is phenomenally fast for a spec car, stock power, couple suspension mods, front brakes, stock engine, and those tires. So
It's something
it all comes down
that
to
really
the
is
driver.
important there, John, is you're also doing this in a fairly cost-effective manner as well. Not just in terms of what it costs you to buy the stuff, but the reliability and the longevity of stuff. The Nanking tires are going to last, like you mentioned, 5 or 6 weekends. You're not having to buy tires every week.
Absolutely. Let me get a cameraman right here. You guys make sure that we are on the camera with Mark LaCourt here, our race 1 winner, Mark LaCourt. We are live on the National Racing Network with Mark LaCourt. So we got to get a little close so they can hear, because our microphone is a little off. But anyways, fantastic job, Mark. I was rooting for you out there.
Thank you.
Fantastic job. You led it from the start. You had the fastest qualifying time of the day. Laid out a minute 47 flat, which is absolutely blazing with these cars. What went through your mind?
You know, I knew where I was fast, and I just wanted to try to get out front and get a good jump. And but Ole was quick today, man.
You had a great battle.
The wise old owl brought it today, and he was tight on me. I would get him in the banking, he'd draw me back in. I was having a little bit of a braking issue that kept reoccurring, and that's what kind of screwed me up in the second race.
Yeah, what happened on the second race there? You guys were battling out side by side, and all of a sudden I saw you drop 2 positions.
Misshifted coming out of the playground.
Okay.
So I lost some ground, made it back up, fighting the brakes throughout. Got a nice little kiss there from, there's a Miata that jumped out, and I had to walk into one of those big pylons out coming out of the playground. Had nowhere to go, but got back up to call Craig up and got around him on the oval, and then kept him at bay through the rest of the race and pulled second back out.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mark LaCourt, race 1 winner. Fabulous job. Here's his kids out here to root him on. Daddy's the winner today. Give him a big hand. Yeah. Number 1. That's right. Fantastic job, Mark.
Thanks, Bob.
You earned it today. You're on an absolute tear this year. And congratulations.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. That's all we have from here from Spec Corvette Racing. So if you want to take it from here and close it out, I'm John Wynn from Spec Corvette Racing.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you chilling out with us this afternoon. Matt Wagner saying lots of money going in. I spent enough today. Man, I'll tell you what. Man, that's more than a kiss, by the way. James, help us close this thing out here, man. How cool was that?
Wow.
In the words of the infamous Ollie, I have to say that was pretty bitchin' of a race to broadcast. Yeah, like, it was, I just had a lot of fun watching. Like, there was some really good racing, and for what we were doing, everything went together pretty good.
Yeah, this one was a blast. We got to thank everybody for coming to hang out with us here, and man, we're going to wrap up our first coverage weekend, or first coverage day, I should say, of the Spec Corvette series. This one was a lot of fun. We got more coming back tomorrow. It will be 1 p.m. Pacific time, around 1 o'clock anyway, Pacific time, depending on how the track day schedule goes. That will be 4 p.m.-ish in the East. We'll be back for round 2. Well, I guess the second half of the first weekend of Spec Corvette racing here on the National Racing Network. Round 5 of the championship, we'll get you the full updates of who's where and what the point standings and everything else will look like here heading into the following weekends. But, man, this was a lot of fun. We're looking forward to coming back tomorrow. For James Watson, John Wynn, and everybody here at the National Racing Network in the Spec Corvette Series, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.